So I was feeling led to share a little bit more about FEMA camps, and that was the last video I made to just clarify some things. And I want to title this video some level-headedness about FEMA, because I don't believe that every single person that goes to FEMA is being murdered or anything like that. Okay, I believe there is a shady aspect to the operation, and that there is evidence to the shady aspect of it. And I linked in my last video all the videos I found where there's some questionable things being brought to the attention. And you know, my video was out of concern because when homeless people disappear from certain places, you know, where do they all go? If they don't have families, if nobody cares about them, then nobody knows where they ended up. This should be of concern to Christians who we are called to care for, you know, the least of these. And we're called to care for the strangers, the orphans, and the widows. We should care what happens to the least of these. And you know, if there are powerful people in all governments who are mistreating others, such as the homeless or the more vulnerable, this needs to be brought into the attention of Christians. We need to pray. So that was the motivation why I made that video. There is just a lot of questionable activity that has been happening. You know, I know that there are some good reports of some things being okay in the FEMA camps right now. I mean, the mark of the beast, the Antichrist is not in power right now. Okay, the New World Order is rising, so it's going to rise to a level where the RFID chip and everything is going to be implemented. And right now they're just experimenting. They're trying to get that going, but it's not fully here yet. Having said that, though, we want to avoid what is going to be leading up to that, you know, conscientiously as Christians. And, you know, like a conscientious person, you know, a real Christian is not going to just allow the system to control them. That's not real freedom, and that goes for getting vaccinated or doing anything against our will. The government should never impose or demand. A real free government should never impose and demand that upon its people. So that was my concern with the FEMA camps. If they are demanding, you know, maybe some police officers were demanding people to get out of the storm, and some of that was genuine care for the people. Because the storm, Irma and Harvey, were very dangerous. But then there's also there's a lot of corruption. There is a lot of corruption in the government right now, especially as the New World Order is rising. So my FEMA video was as an alarm for people to just be careful. You know, God will protect his children, and I'm sure that if some Christians had to go to FEMA camps, God protected them. You know, everything is in God's hands, you know, and all the bad stuff that is going on in FEMA and that we don't hear about because you're not going to hear about it, obviously is going to be subverted, obviously. But, yeah, we just have to... These are just times where, as disasters increase, we need to know where our priorities are and what we're trusting in and who we're trusting in. So a lot of things are not what they seem. I am not anti-government. I want to say that, you know, if I make videos exposing things, I'm anti-New World Order. I'm anti-corruption. I'm anti-oppression. I'm anti-people in power misusing their power. And the scripture says I'm not anti-church. Like, I'm in my videos, if God has me call out the church, the false churches, I'm not anti every single church. I'm anti corrupt churches that abuse power or do not represent the gospel at all. So I just wanted to clarify, because yeah, I think it was important to clarify that. You know, when the Lord put something in my heart, it's just to expose the evil so that people take heed and turn to Jesus, because Jesus is the light and Jesus is the hope. What else did the Lord want me to say? So yeah, please, let's remember that as Christians, you know, we are here to love the least of these and to have concern and care for one another, to be praying for each other, praying for the hurting, helping the hurting. And, you know, I know lots of people prayed and helped the victims of Harvey and Irma and whatever other things are going on. You know, we just need to be led by the Spirit how we help our fellow man. You know, whatever our calling is of how we shine Jesus's light in us. So, yeah. So that was pretty much all I needed to say for right now. I'll probably make a video again soon when the Lord leads me. Thank you for those who keep me in your prayers, who pray for me, pray for, you know, the ministry that we all have something that we need to do. Please continue to pray for me and against the spiritual attacks that we all have. Jesus is amazing to always deliver us. And everything that we go, as an encouragement, I wanted to say, everything that we go through, as hard as it is, when we go through it, is so that we can help others. And I'll put that verse, you know, so that we can comfort others with the comfort that we have received. So that's just amazing. The God of all comfort. We go through some very hard things, all of us, so that we learn and we grow and mature. And through that lesson that we learned, or that encouragement that we received, we are able to comfort others because we have experience. We've gained experience, and we've gained something through the trial or the suffering or the affliction. And yeah, so that I'm going to put that verse in the description box to encourage you. Have a blessed day in Jesus.